Today on This Old House,
So we're thinking this subway and doing some sort of like a mosaic accent in the middle of it.
There's holes in these floors and we're gonna patch them.
that's a bad sign.
That's a bad sign.
What happened to all this plumbing here?
I've never seen anything like this before. There's already rot going on in that trunk.
So what have you found up here?
Well, a bit of a surprise.
It's really the classic plumber's lament.
It's 5 bathrooms, it's a kitchen, it's a full new mechanical. It's gonna be a biggie.
Sounds like you guys have a plan.
I think we do.
Money's in the detail.
That is beautiful. Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to This Old House here in Dorchester at our triple decker. This is the 3rd floor of that building, and it was damaged a year ago with fire. Most of the damage was back here in this corner, which explains why there's been so much demolition. Now, we're working hard and fast to try to get Carol, our homeowner, back into the house. She's going to be living on the 2nd floor, her sister Willie's going to be on the 1st floor, and this 3rd floor is going to be reserved for a tenant. Now, the fire and the water they poured on it caused a lot of damage to the plaster walls, which is why you can see much of it has been demoed here in the back of the house in the hallway. But some of the plaster damage, well, that was self-inflicted. Hey, Mauro, Bobby,
Kevin.
Jay, good to see you guys again. So this is our own fault, right?
Well, this was caused by Heath, the electrician. He needs to fish wires throughout the house. That was necessary.
You got to have access.
You gotta have access throughout the house.
Bobby and Jay are going to help you. You're going to show them what to do.
I'll show them what to do. I'm sure they're gonna do a beautiful job. But this one, it's small. Let me show you a bigger one here that we need to fix it.
Yeah, a much bigger problem out here, Mauro, and not, done by our electrician.
Absolutely. This was caused during the fire when the people came in and they banged walls here and there. The plaster fell off, as you can see. There's some cracks going on in all different directions. So we gotta fix that.
All right, well, they're in good hands.
Cool. All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna show you how to start to fix that. I saved 2 pieces of the lat, which is this piece of wood that holds the plaster together. We're gonna use one of this piece on the back. We're gonna put a screw at the bottom, one at the top. Same thing with this one here on this side. What this does, this will help us to secure the new patch on this wall here and cover the hole, okay? All right, guys, we took the measurements. It's 6 inches by 11 inches. This is gonna be our opening. We're gonna make it a little larger, a larger opening so we can fit this piece in it. So just like you do a Dutchman on wood, we're gonna do it for plaster repair. And then with your pencil, you're just gonna scrub around all the 4 sides, okay? All right, Jay, next thing you do with the utility knife, you're gonna come up here and you're gonna cut on the lines, okay? Okay, I think that should be good. Let's see if that fit. Yep. All right, let's screw this piece in and we'll be ready to patch. There we go. Drill. I got a couple screws here for you. There we go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put a very thin coat of this joint compound. It's a ready mix we use for drywall and plaster seams or for small patches like this. All right, Jay, now it's time for us to put the mashing tape or drywall tape, people call different names. It will keep the cracks from coming back. Remember, you gotta cover the seams right there, a little bit up, yep, yep. All right, cut it out. All right, next step. We're gonna do another pass with joint compound, right on top of the mesh tape. That looks good. All right, Bobby, let's check this wall here. All right, we're gonna remove all the loose plaster. As you see during the fire, this happening, banging walls here and there, the horsehair plaster is falling apart. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take just the necessary for the repair. We're not gonna need to go all the way down. All right, as soon as you feel like it's kind of hard for the plaster to be removed, that's our stop line right there. All right, like I said, we don't need to go all the way down. As soon as you feel like, you know, a little knock like that, that sounds solid. So we stop right there. All right? Well, the next time we're gonna do the same way like we did the small patch, but this time we're gonna do it on a bigger scale. Good stuff. Bingo! We're gonna fill up the seams first, just like that. Yeah, press it down a little bit. Bring it all the way here. And then you can use your knife to cut that out. All right, now we're gonna put in a light coat of compound on over the tape. We're going to wait about 8 hours, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna sand, prime, and paint.
Fire is what brought us here to Dorchester. This house had a fire, and by code, when you rebuild a 3-family like this in the city of Boston, you have to have a fire protection system, and that means sprinklers. And that is the purview of Ronnette Taylor, our licensed sprinkler contractor. How are you?
How you doing, Richie?
Good. So where do you start in terms of sizing and installing a sprinkler system? We're going to have heads on every floor, right?
Correct.
And where's the water going to come to supply that?
Okay, you have two options. One, you can bring it from the street, or the other, you can put the water in storage tanks.
Okay. So from the street, you mean here's the city water main right here. This is a 3/4 copper line.
Right, right.
Now, you're not going to get enough with this, right? You got to go all the way to the back of the building, the top floor, to get to the top floor with what, 2 heads, right?
Exactly.
How much water would that need?
The furthest remote heads have to require at least 28.1 gallons of water per minute.
Per minute. For how long are they looking for?
20 minutes.
With my high school math, that's like 500 or 600 gallons of water you need.
Exactly.
You're not going to get that out of this little 3/4
There's no
line.
way you can do that in this situation.
All right. We could do a new water main, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you would bring a separate water line and bring it in, and the minimum size in this application would be 2-inch.
All right, but that could be more than 10 grand, couldn't it?
Yeah, you're looking at maybe $10,000 to $15,000 to bring a service in.
All right, so you must have a plan. What's your plan?
My plan is to put a storage system.
There they are. Look at these big beauties. What are they, polyethylene?
Yeah, they're polyethylene, and they're 400 gallons apiece, and
Okay, so what's that, 800 total?
800 gallons, and we fill them up with a garden hose.
All right, a little extra cushion. You only need
Yeah.
like 6 for the
Yeah, 600, but it's always good.
All right, so what else you got here? You got the steel piping and
Okay,
it goes to the pump.
This pump is 1.5 horsepower.
That's the
Okay,
power, yeah.
and this pump will give you 49 pounds of pressure to the furthest
Which is what we need for that big thing.
Yeah, for that thing.
And then what's this manifold?
Okay, we first have the check valve, and then you have the flow switch, which is the most important item on every sprinkler system. This activates when any sprinkler head goes off.
Okay, to bring the pump on to replenish it.
Right,
yeah.
and this is the low pressure switch for the pump.
Good.
Then you got the you got the pump controller panel,
Right.
and then everything here goes up to the system.
All right, so this water will sit in this tank forever. The pump will provide pressure sitting right here, so that this pipe will always be pressurized no
Exactly.
matter what,
No matter
up
what.
against the sprinkler heads.
Exactly.
So I can see right here, you've transitioned to some sort of plastic. Is that what you're going to use to run sprinklers through the building?
Yes, we're installing the system into CPVC, which
Okay,
is
can you
really
show me
important.
that install?
Yes, I can.
Great. You guys, thanks. All right, so up here on the second floor, looks like you made some progress. You've got a main trunk coming down here.
Yeah, we do.
That's the CPVC, right?
Yes, it is. And over here, we're bringing a head inside this room here.
Hey, Stefan, how are you? How are you doing? All right, so he's running the sprinkler head here. How many do you have in this room?
One.
And how do you determine it?
By the square footage of the room, and this is a 13D system. It's designed that way. This one here, the spray pattern covers 14 feet.
14 out, 14 wide.
Yeah, 14 feet all around.
Cover this room
Exactly.
perfectly. So these are pretty interesting. There's a little sensor in there with a little bit of glycerin or alcohol, and that will release at certain temperature, right?
Yeah.
There's different colors, right? Different
Yeah,
ratings?
for different areas, yeah. So you'd have a green one here, if you was in a high temperature, like a laundry room, a boiler room.
Yeah, you don't want to
anywhere
trip
that's-
in by mistake.
Yeah, trip by mistake. A lot of people think one sprinkler head goes off, they're all gonna go
Right.
off.
That's because
And
all
then-
those TV shows always do that.
Exactly,
right? Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
actually, but 9 times out of 10, where the head goes off is where the fire's at. They say one sprinkler head protects 75% of your property.
All right, so how many of these are going to be on each floor?
About 10 to 12.
Okay.
The whole purpose of this is to save your life till you get out. So this system here, economically, makes sense. It will give you 20 minutes of water to get out.
Well, you're doing good work.
Yeah, thank
Thanks.
you.
Got these 2 blues for that.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Amy, good of you to help us out.
Of course.
Carol, Will, you guys have done this before, right?
Yes, we've done this before. I completed all the bathrooms and all the kitchens before the fire, just before the fire.
So Amy, how do you get started? What's your sort of philosophy with helping them out?
Well, we talked about what they had before, and now we're going to start with the walls because that's kind of the easiest, and
Okay.
so that's what we started with.
Yep.
Okay, and so as you look at the wall, there's a wall by the bathtub, the narrow side, as well as the long side right here, and you're thinking tile all the way up that wall.
Yes.
And what do you say we maybe start from the first floor, work our way up? Willie, you're on the first floor. What are you thinking?
Yes, I like these.
You like those?
Yes.
What do you like about them?
I like that they're large.
Yeah, it's a large format wall tile, and I think we're doing it in like the stacked pattern that kind of brings a little bit of that classic charm that you guys are looking for. And
Right.
I mean, it's a subway tile; you can't go wrong with it.
can't go
just
wrong.
can't.
Let's move our way up. Second floor.
Second
you got
floor.
thoughts on that?
The same size towel, the white, and we're just going to do an accent, so it's sort of break it up.
And do it every couple feet or just one in a key spot? What do you think?
It's just one strip all the way around,
Yeah.
and then you have the white on the top and white on the bottom.
Just break it up.
Just break it up.
I like that. And then as we move up to the third floor, what are we thinking for the walls there?
Thinking the same tile for the wall, but a different accent.
And it plays off of the metal finishes that we're doing for the shower head and the handheld.
Oh, nice. So stainless, picking
Yeah.
that up, a little bit of a brush finish. You know what? You got decision makers on your hand. I don't know if you're aware of that yet.
They're very good.
But they have no patience for shopping. They just make decisions.
Caught that on
So
quickly.
you're good to go. All right.
But it's been fun.
Walls to floors, right? You're going to do tiles on the floors. Let's start from the top and work our way down. What are your thoughts on the floors?
We're doing the same tile on the third floor and the same one on the first floor.
Oh, okay. So repeating that. So, and what are you thinking?
Doing a little bit of a timeless. I love marble, so I had to sneak it in here somewhere.
So that's a big marble right there, 12 by 12. That
Yep.
looks terrific. Okay, so that's first and third. And for the
Right.
second floor, what are you guys thinking? Well, this is your tile here.
Yep.
Right.
So this is a porcelain, right? Mm-hmm. That's nice. And that's got sort of the earth tones, more of a natural stone feel.
Right.
And look at that, even a colorblind guy like me can see that, right? So you get those beautiful earth tone complements between floor and the accent
Yep.
piece.
Right.
Crisp cleaning on the tiles. That's pretty cool. And that was your thought there?
Yeah, that we kind of wanted to pull because Carol loved this, and so that was why we decided for this as an accent to kind of complement it. And we'll do this in a diamond format as well.
Nice. Okay. So walls and floors, all 3 bathrooms, all picked out. You guys feel good about it?
Yes.
Hopefully the last time you have to make
Yes.
these decisions, right?
Hopefully last time.
It's nice working with a pro, isn't it? It helps.
Yes, it
And-
does.
All right. Well, you guys got your act together. Good
Yeah.
to hear. Thank you, Amy. We appreciate it.
Likewise.
All right, guys, now you're gonna laugh at me when I say these are beautiful floors, and they were at one time. We're not gonna use the radiators in this house. We're gonna use hydronic heat. So we need to patch these holes in the floor. Now, to patch these old floors, you like to have old boards to match them. So the boards that we got are from the second or third floor hallway. We're gonna pull the nails and save these boards. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the boards over, and we're going to gently tap these nails out with the hammer and pull them on this end. We don't want to damage this side, so when we tap them with our hammer, we're going to tap it, take the board up, look at it, make sure that the nail isn't hooked on that finished edge. Swing your arc a little further. There you go. Drop the hammer. Bring it right down tight, right down flush. There you go. All right, now the further, like I say, the further you drive that down, there's more chance of you pulling that nail out, just like that. See? All right, let's get the rest of the nails out. All right, so now you think, well, let's just cut these boards out. Well, we have to think about how the boards are installed. It's a tongue and groove system. So the tongue on this board is facing that way, and the groove on this board is facing that way. So that tells me that when they installed this floor, they started on that side and they worked their way across. So now we also want to take this board out, but we want to stagger the joints. We don't want it to look like a patch. So to do that, I'm just going to take my square and I'm going to place a line on the, I'm going to set my square with the edge. I'm going to put a line here. I'm going to come over here, put another line. Line it up with the edge. See me line it up with the edge? I'm going to mark this here. All right, and I'm going to draw another line here. So I'm going to drill a hole just through the finished floor, come up. I'm going to drill another hole beside that hole. Okay, good. So now we got a bunch of holes. I'm just going to take my chisel, see if I can split that board. See how the board's starting to split there? Work my chisel. Just break that piece right out. Now the idea of the holes down the middle, it actually makes room for me to take the center piece out. Split it again. Like cutting firewood, right? Now we're going to make this 16 1/8. All right, so now we'll try this first board. Drop that in place just like that. And the second board's going to go in. But watch the problem that we have with this board when we try to put it in. We have to slide it in, the tongue into the groove. We want to kick it over. It's over, but we can't get it down because the bottom part of this groove is hitting against the tongue. So what we need to do now is remove this all the way down, changing this dado into a rabbet. I'm going to slide this in. All right, just tap it down. And I'll put a couple of nails in it. All right, so that's how we patch a floor. Once the sander comes in, the floor finisher, and gives a rough sanding, he'll then go over all of these imperfections, nail holes, voids, anything that's small, with a filler that will color match the floor, and then sand that in and put your top coat on.
Among our favorite features in this house are the leaded glass accents. And Cathryn, as our glass expert, it's good to have you back.
Nice to be back.
You must be thrilled, as we are, to see them here. We've got 3 of these, one in each dining room.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What can you tell us about them?
Well, they're typical for the era. This is an Egyptian kind of style.
Egyptian?
Yeah, well, this is sort of a nod to the lotus flower. And it was popular at the turn of the last century, which is when this house was built.
Right, so stem, petals, I don't know, with the bud right there.
Yep,
Gotcha. Okay.
exactly right.
And lead, right?
Yep, leaded window,
Colored glass.
colored glass here, a rough texture privacy glass there, but for good reason, because there's a house so close next door.
It is literally about 8-10 feet away, the neighbor's house right
Yep,
there. So.
but you get all the light without
Yep.
the exposure.
And the condition?
The condition is pretty darn good. These are well built. There's a lot of lead. There's not a lot of big pieces of glass that can weigh down. It's just a good window. And I'm delighted it's here.
So are we.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted we don't have to fix it, but we do
Yes.
have to fix something over here on the china cabinet.
Yep.
Also a typical feature for this house, this era?
It's a built-in. It's wonderful. It's a pride of place. This is where you put your china.
Right. And so in this case, we don't need privacy glass. We want to see that china.
Yeah.
The condition here? What's
the
your
condition
diagnosis?
is poor, and probably your eye would go to this break first, as it should.
Yep.
But it's also, it's just been used so often, open and shut, that all the cement has fallen free.
No doubt they had kids.
Kids.
Darn kids.
And
All
they
right.
used it.
So this needs to be repaired.
Yep.
You have gotten ahead of us here.
I did a little.
So let's bring this guy in.
Yeah.
What did you do for us here?
Well, I re-cemented it. I shored up the joints because some of them weren't so good. But the big key was the re-cementing.
That's the sound we want to hear.
Yeah, that means it's solid.
No rattle.
You can trust it. What I've got to do now is get this panel out safely. I want to identify the little finishing nails that are in here, because this stuff can be so brittle after, see?
Right on cue for
Right
brittle,
there.
huh?
No, but,
You don't seem to be too concerned about
well,
that.
I'm not happy I did it, but it's repairable and it won't be obvious and it doesn't affect the strength of the window.
Okay.
Do it like so, and that's it.
Get the frame out of our way.
It's free, and now I'm able to work on it.
Okay. So what do you see? I mean, the lead is in decent shape?
The lead is in decent
all there.
shape. It's all there. It's oxidized, but it hasn't fatigued, meaning it's all still there. When I scrape on this, just take off some of this oxidation. There's good lead underneath there. And because it's good, I can solder it, and that means I can save this window.
Good. Yeah, nice score.
It's the right sound, and then so the next step is to cement it. It is calcium carbonate, linseed oil, and like a stove black. It takes a couple days to cure, but once it does, it's not going anywhere.
Wow. So there's, I don't know, 30, 40 panes of glass, two sides. We've got cement, cleaning, burnishing. You got a lot of work ahead of you, a couple hours at least.
I'm gonna be here for a little bit, and I'm gonna clean it up really so it's pristine again.
Cathryn, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next time on This Old House.
We reinstalled some of the cabinets that survived the fire.
So what we have is a combination heating and hot water boiler for each unit. So these will feed the domestic hot water and the heat to each unit throughout the building.
So Carol, you don't have a dishwasher in the kitchen now, right? That's kind of rare.
No, we don't have a dishwasher in the kitchen. It'll be a nice upgrade for me, but we have a small kitchen. I'm worried about size.